No, Dead by Daylight is not a pay-to-win game. Whenever I see people talking about the topic on Twitter, that's right, I finally decided to be active on Twitter again. And boy, was that a fucking mistake. They tend to use one of 3 points that can all be traced back to a certain MINSCELL video, which is linked in the description. In his video, MINSCELL calls Dead by Daylight's monetization predatory because new players have to either grind for a month or 2 to unlock all the best killers and all the best perks in the game, or they can pay a couple $100s to get all that content in the game day 1. My question is, why the hell does a brand new DBD player need access to all the best killers and all the best perks day 1? Or hell, even month 1. Are they going to be playing with all the best perks and all the best killers? Are they going to have the blood points to unlock all the best perks on all the best killers? Are they even going to know how to play with all the best perks and all the best killers? They barely even know how to play the damn game! Giving them all the best shit right out the bat is a great way to cultivate a bunch of high MMR babies. Video for another time. The idea that you need all the best perks on all the best killers to stand a chance in Dead by Daylight is incredibly fucking stupid, competitive brain nonsense. You don't need all the best perks on all the best killers to win in Dead by Daylight. If you did, this game would be unplayable to anyone who wasn't Nurse. And more importantly, you don't need all the best perks on all the best killers to have fun in Dead by Daylight. Which, in case you weren't aware, DBD is a fucking video game. Having fun is the entire fucking point. To prove this, I am literally playing a random game as perkless M1 Machete man as B-roll. You know, instead of a nurse with 4 general aggression perks. I shouldn't stand a chance, right? If I were to distill every argument I saw on Twitter into 3 points, they would be this. 1, the best killers / perks are locked behind a paywall. 2, there is content that free-to-play players cannot attain. And 3, the grind sucks, and the Shrine of Secrets sucks. The first point that all the strong killers / perks are stuck behind a paywall is just flat out wrong. Even if we ignore the fact that the nurse is literally free, the strongest killers in Dead by Daylight are not trapped behind a paywall. Blight and Spirit are behavior originals that can be easily bought with iridescent shards, which you should have plenty of, assuming you're not spending them all on cosmetics or the Shrine of Secrets. As for the perks, well, there could be an argument there if we simply assume that you need to have all the best perks on all the best killers to enjoy playing Dead by Daylight, which you don't. But that's tied to a larger issue, so I'll defend that claim in a different video. Now, I think there might be a point to this if behavior intentionally made broken perks for each new chapter release that were just so OP that if you didn't run them, you were throwing. But not only does behavior not do this, but when they do wind up huffing a little too much sea cleaner and create something like Old Mettle of Man or Old Eruption, they're pretty quick on nerfing it into the fucking ground, even if it is for a licensed chapter. I mean, it's behavior, they still take a couple months to do so, but it's not like they're intentionally designing and letting pay-to-win bullshit run rampant in their games just to make a quick buck. It feels more like they accidentally cook a little too hard occasionally and just kind of cross their fingers and hope people don't realize it, because if they do, then they'll have to actually get off their lazy asses. And the second point is probably the strongest, but it's also the easiest to dismantle. I mean, yes, by definition, there is strong content that you can't get your hands on unless you pay for it. Some of which would give you a competitive advantage over not having it. But the reason why these are all behind a paywall is because it's licensed content. Every time someone spends money on Chucky, Universal Pictures gets a cut of the sale. That's how licenses work. So if behavior introduced the option to obtain Chucky for 0 monies, Ronald Mayer and the federal courts of both the United States and Canada might just get the teeniest bit upset. Now, don't get me wrong. I like getting my content for free just as much as the next guy, and there's usually a way for the consumer to do that. But behavior just isn't able to give us that option, no matter how much they want to. So pretending that behavior is intentionally paywalling content for a quick buck, instead of having their hands tied by federal copyright law, is so fucking disingenuous, it's actually aggravating. The third point is both the stupidest of the three, and the one I agree with the most. Yeah, the grind kinda sucks, and the Shrine of Secrets is at least 17 layers of stupid. Why would I pay 12,000 Irison shards for tier 3 of Thwack when I can just get the ability to grind for all 3 for only 7,000 Irison shards? Am I really trying to avoid playing Skull Merchant that much? Yes. Yes, I am. Tier 3 Thwack, leverage, and game of foot is 36,000 Irison shards well spent. Jokes aside, I do have to give Mint Skull and everyone else credit where it's due. Shrine of Secrets sucks, and behavior does tend to develop a bit of a FOMO fetish around the holidays. It's not enough for me to consider the monetization predatory, but it certainly isn't consumer friendly. As for the grind, it's not nearly as bad as it used to be. And every year it seems to be getting better. With blood hunts, events, and just general changes, behavior has been consistently implementing changes to make the grind easier, on both new and veteran players alike. I mean, it's still a grind, but that's the point. The grind is part of Dead by Daylight. Removing the grind from Dead by Daylight would be like removing building from Fortnite. Imagine Fortnite with no building. How much fun could that possibly be? Okay, bad example, but you get the point. Maybe if behavior was going out of their way to make the grind as unbelievably atrocious as physically possible, and offered you the ability to skip the grind entirely by purchasing a small amount of in-game currency? Huh. What's that footage of Warframe doing in this video? Basically, until behavior gives us a way to buy blood points with real-world money, complaining about the grind in context of monetization is moot. The last argument I see is the concession of, well, if this was a free-to-play game, these monetization practices would be acceptable, which, no they fucking wouldn't. If DBD was as pay-to-win and predatory as people claim it is, it wouldn't be acceptable, even if the game was free. Nor should it. Free-to-play games shouldn't get a pass on predatory pay-to-win bullshit. Also, there seems to be this weird idea that you're either a virgin pay-to-win whale or a free-to-play Giga Chad. Like, you can do both. There is a happy medium. Buy the shit you want to, don't buy the shit you don't want to. It's really not that fucking hard. Either way, stop pretending like DBD is some predatory pay-to-win game. It isn't. Pretending it is ignorant at best and disingenuous at worst. And for those of you still watching that think you have to run all the best shit to win in Dead by Daylight, here's an end screen for the match you're watching this video. Don't like it? Here's 5 more. Take it easy, everyone, and have a nice night.
まるで分かっていないな。いい機会だ。教えてやる。本物の呪術というものを。領域展開。福間水